Welcome back to American Muscle Wheels. Today we're revving up the engines and diving deep into the tire-shredding world of classic American muscle. 1971 was a turning point in muscle car history, a time when horsepower was king, and the streets were ruled by the fastest, loudest, and meanest machines ever built. We're counting down the top 10 fastest muscle cars of that iconic year, so strap in and get ready for a ride you won't forget. Starting off our list at number 10 is the 1971 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. With its sleek lines and aggressive stance, the Z28 was built for performance. It featured a 350 cubic inch V8 engine that pumped out 330 horsepower. While it wasn't the most powerful car of its time, the Z28 was known for its incredible balance and handling. Chevy engineered this car for the enthusiast who wanted more than just straight-line speed. In a market dominated by the Ford Mustang, Chevrolet needed a contender that could not only keep up, but also stand out. The Z28's combination of power and precision made it a fan favorite then, and it remains an icon today. Coming in at number 9 is a car that doesn't always get the spotlight it deserves, the 1971 AMC Javelin AMX. AMC might not have been the biggest player in the muscle car world, but the Javelin AMX was a serious contender. With a 401 cubic inch V8 under the hood producing 330 horsepower, this car was built for speed. The Javelin AMX could clock in quarter-mile times in under 14 seconds. Impressive for a company known more for economy cars than muscle. The Javelin AMX also stood out for its distinctive styling, a blend of American muscle with European-inspired design cues. It was a versatile performer that could handle the track and the daily commute. AMC may have been the underdog, but the Javelin AMX earned its place among the big boys. Next on the list is the 1971 Buick GSX Stage 1, landing at number 8. Buick's reputation for luxury was well known, but they proved they could do muscle too. The GSX Stage 1 wasn't just a performance package, it was a statement. With a 455 cubic inch V8 under the hood delivering 360 horsepower and 510 lb-ft of torque, this car was a heavyweight champion. The GSX Stage 1 wasn't just about raw power, it also featured upgraded suspension, making it a surprisingly nimble beast for its size. The GSX was the ultimate sleeper, luxury on the outside, muscle on the inside. It was a car that could win races and look good doing it. Even today, the Buick GSX Stage 1 is a sought-after collector's car, proving that Buick knew how to mix comfort and raw performance. At number 7, we've got a car that embodies everything we love about muscle, the Dodge Charger Super Bee. Dodge was all about delivering brute force in the early 70s, and the Super Bee was one of their top performers. Powered by a 446-pack V8, it produced 385 horsepower and could take the quarter mile in just over 13 seconds. It was a street racer's dream, built to lay down rubber and leave everyone else in the dust. The Super Bee wasn't a car for those seeking luxury or refinement, it was raw, unfiltered power. Built for the quarter mile, it was the kind of car that made its presence known with the sound of its engine before it even came into view. Rounding out the first half of our list at number 6 is the 1971 Oldsmobile 442 W30. The 442 nameplate was already legendary, but by 1971, Oldsmobile took things up a notch. The W30 package featured a 455 cubic inch V8 that produced 370 horsepower, and with the right setup, this car was capable of sub-14 second quarter-mile runs. The 442 W30 wasn't just about straight-line speed, it had handling and style to match. The 442 W30 was more than just a drag strip hero. It was a well-rounded muscle car that could handle curves thanks to its upgraded suspension. Add in the striking W30 graphics package, and you've got a car that commands attention both on the street and at car shows. Breaking into our top 5 is the 1971 Plymouth GTX 440+6. The GTX was known as the gentleman's muscle car, offering a blend of performance and luxury. But underneath the plush interior and refined exterior was a monster of an engine, the 440 cubic inch V8 with the iconic 6-pack carburetor setup. This combination pushed out 390 horsepower, making the GTX one of the fastest cars of 1971. The GTX was more than just a muscle car, it was a statement of power with a touch of class. The six-pack carburetor setup was legendary for delivering incredible throttle response, making the GTX a favorite among those who wanted the best of both worlds, luxury and speed. At number 4, we've got one of the most iconic names in muscle car history, the Pontiac GTO Judge. The GTO started the muscle car revolution, and by 1971, the Judge package took things to another level. Under the hood was the Ram Air VOR V8 engine producing 370 horsepower. The Judge was more than just a performance upgrade, it was an attitude. From the bold graphics to the hood-mounted tachometer, this car was built to stand out. The Judge was designed for those who wanted to make a statement. The Ram Air system funneled cold air directly into the engine, boosting performance. And with its heavy-duty suspension and wide-track stance, the GTO Judge could handle corners like a champ, proving that it was more than just a straight-line sprinter. Taking the bronze at number 3 is the 1971 Ford Mustang Boss 351. The Mustang had already secured its place in muscle car history, but the Boss 351 was something special. Equipped with a high-compression 351 cubic-inch Cleveland Phi 8, this car delivered 330 horsepower and a whole lot of attitude. What made the Boss 351 stand out was its balance. It wasn't just fast in a straight line, it could carve through corners like a race car. The Boss 351 featured a close-ratio 4-speed manual transmission, reinforced suspension, and performance tuning straight from the factory. It was a car built for the enthusiast who wanted more than just raw power. They wanted a driving experience. The Boss 351 may not have been the most powerful Mustang ever, but it was one of the most well-rounded and remains highly sought after. In second place, we have the legendary 1971 Dodge Challenger RT with the 426 Hemi. When you talk about muscle cars, the 426 Hemi is the holy grail. Producing 425 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 490 lb-ft of torque. This car was built to dominate any competition. The Challenger RT wasn't just about brute force, it was about making a statement. From its wide stance to the iconic Hemi badging, everything about this car screamed power. The 426 Hemi engine was ahead of its time, featuring hemispherical combustion chambers that optimized power output. The Challenger RT could hit 60 mph in just over 5 seconds, which was insane for 1971. Even today, this car commands respect and remains one of the most sought-after muscle cars of all time. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the fastest muscle car of 1971 and arguably one of the most iconic muscle cars ever built, the 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. This car wasn't just a machine, it was a legend on 4 wheels, with the same monstrous 426 Hemi engine found in the Challenger RT, but in a lighter body, the Hemi Cuda was a force to be reckoned with. It delivered 425 horsepower and could demolish the quarter-mile in just 13 seconds. The Hemi Cuda was the peak of muscle car engineering, a car built for the streets but ready for the track. Its aggressive design, shaker hood, and unmatched performance made it a dream car for any gearhead. Even with its high price tag back then, enthusiasts were willing to pay for a chance to own this legend. Today, the Hemi Cuda is one of the most valuable and rarest muscle cars ever, with prices at auctions reaching millions. So there you have it, the top 10 fastest muscle cars of 1971 a year that truly captured the essence of American horsepower. These cars represent a time when Detroit was all about power, speed, and pushing the limits. Whether you're a fan of Mopar, GM, or Ford, there's no denying that 1971 gave us some of the most iconic muscle cars ever built. Thanks for joining us on this trip down memory lane. Which one of these muscle cars is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love this kind of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an episode of American Muscle Wheels. Until next time, keep those engines roaring and stay tuned for more classic car content.